Welcome back to another episode of Blue Collar Garage Culture Shop. Today, we stayed nice and close to home, and we're here at Ethan's property, where he has this awesome dirt track / snow track out here, and a bunch of beaters to take around the track. Welcome back to another episode of Blue Collar Garage Culture Shop. Today we're here at Heathen's garage, checking out his barn, his bar, and his garage. And he's got a ton of projects and stuff to show us too.
What do you want to talk about first? This one? It's here.
Yeah, let's talk about this one.
Alright. So this one's like my most special project. My dad bought this truck brand new. And 1987 obviously. Dodge Dakota. It was a 3.9 5-speed truck. Dad used it for work, just a work truck. He hopped up the 3.9 quite a bit and went from like a 18-second truck to a 15-second quarter-mile truck. Somewhere around high school, my brother bought it from him, and he put a small block and an automatic in it and shortened the frame with a flat deck. Then it kind of went into a field after the transmission died and the engine was toast and whatever else. I pulled it back out of the field, which is why I call it Scrap Coda. And we put a small block back in it, and I elected to go for another 5-speed manual because I like 5 speeds.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted. So I put a box on it as well and gave it a paint job twice. Once in flat gray, which looked horrendous, and then in bright green, which, aside from being full of bugs, is just fine.
It looks like from a distance and on camera, it looks good. It's a good looking.
15 footers?
Yeah.
She's mint on 15 footers. But I broke the engine again for time number 2 or 3 or whatever. This one, 8 transmissions as well. Just, I don't understand what clutch control is and had no self-control to go along with that. So we'll see. We'll get it sorted out one of these days. But currently it's got a AX15 or something like that transmission.
Yeah.
Used it in Jeeps and V6 Dakotas. And it works okay. It's just got a really bog standard wore out organic clutch, but it doesn't cook it, and also I'm not breaking everything else behind it. So
Yeah.
it's been through diffs and transmissions and everything else. So. But it's got a big Caterpillar C12 turbo that sits on it normally. The engine's sitting over there. Transmission, or the turbo and junk's all in the back, but
Yeah, last time we were looking at it, the engine was still in it.
yeah, you'll have footage of the engine in it. It looks way
But
better with
you've,
the engine in it.
You've took it all out now.
Like it's a large turbo is what size it is.
Yeah, it looks massive.
Yeah, it's huge. It really looks perfectly normal, like in a cab over garbage truck. Well, it took me 2 weeks, but it got there. But like interior's all stock in it. You can open the door around the post in this little shed I work out of. But it's reasonably, aside from the radio delete panel. That tack my dad got from Chrysler, he won it in a contest because they had like
cool.
a draw.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, like it's not hooked up to anything, but it's kind of neat.
Looks cool. It looks like you're
yeah.
going to go fast.
It worked good until I put fuel injection. Oh, I shouldn't say that shit.
Until you put a fuel injection.
Yeah. It worked really good until I put fuel injection in it, and then, well, then I didn't
I'll
bother
bleep it out.
hooking
You
back
never
up.
know.
Yeah.
They might come one day giving you free stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Could add it back in.
Yeah.
But, and then this is actually a dream I've had for a long time. I'm short one engine still, but I wanted one of what I always refer to as the big four because I include AMC unlike everybody else. But I wanted one Dodge, one Ford, and one small block Chevy, all on stands. We have a slant 6 because we have a slant 6. And if Chrysler hadn't made it, AMC would have because it's weird and unusual. But we're on the hunt for a small block AMC engine again.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to tear each one of these apart at the same time and just see what they look like. Just compare the differences, like hand in hand.
Yeah.
You can look at pictures all you want, but when you can actually get to compare them and look down the ports and stuff, I think that's neat.
That is cool. That would be a cool video too to see as you tear them down what the differences are between.
Well, that's the big plan, is to make that into a video.
There you go. Coming soon to Heathen's Garage on YouTube.
Yeah, a few weeks away for sure, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Coming eventually to Heathen's
Yeah.
Garage on YouTube. There you
It
go.
takes some, like, engine teardowns aren't slow, but
Yeah.
depends how much you care about it too.
That and tearing down 4 of them at a time would
Yeah.
add.
Yeah, well, that one, like the small block Dodge, I can tear apart happily in a couple hours because I've done small block Dodges a lot. I've never had a small block Ford apart ever.
Yeah.
Small block Chevys, I've done a few. They're, well, everybody can do a small block Chevy. That's the theory.
Yeah.
So it can't be that hard.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's for the rest of it. It's kind of just a workspace. It's a full-on legit barn. When we bought the place a few years ago, like this was all full of stalls. These are actually the dividers. All these posts were dividers between like horse stalls or cows. I don't know anything about animals.
Yeah.
But some sort of animals lived in between them. There was
Yeah.
straw and hay, and well, that corner's still got wood floor in it, concrete underneath happily, but
Yeah.
and hay and straw and manure. For that matter.
I was gonna say this little drain right here. That's where all the shit.
Yeah, no, that's
I know.
that's the drainage. It works out really well for me when I spill antifreeze on the floor because
Yeah.
at least a portion of it leaves and a portion of it stays. But other than that, I took a job. I'm a heavy duty mechanic by trade. I took a job about 2 years ago where I got to bring my toolbox home because I work out of a service truck. So tools stay here and they're good and happy and
Nice.
I have more than I need and a bunch of junk that is left over that I'll never use, but that's okay.
Having junk is good though.
Oh yeah.
And you got a nice little storage area back here.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, as is most of this stuff. But to go along with being a pretty mediocre mechanic, I'm quite a back rat as well. So
Nice.
I tend to collect a lot of junk that I don't need, but
That's
so
cool.
be it.
Yeah.
Like I don't really have a home for that small block Chevy or the small block Ford. We just bought another engine for this, so it's kind of irrelevant, but we'll fix them all and use them at some point in time.
Yeah. Well, you've got enough cars in the fleet.
Yeah. Well, and that small block Dodge is special to me because that's the first one I ever rebuilt.
Right.
And that was, I think I was 17 years old or something. My brother actually found the receipt for me buying rings and bearings for it. It was like $340 is all I spent. That was gasket set and rings and bearings and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we just spent $1,000 and I blew it up 2 hours later. So
Yeah.
that felt good. Felt real solid. That.
Yeah. We'll link that video up above here.
My nephew Sam will be real pleased. It's his favorite video, I think.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
other than that, like it's a decent little workspace. We put heat in it this spring, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like, because we worked since we moved here, I worked in here with no heat.
Yeah.
And that's not really a treat, in my opinion, in Alberta. Like,
No.
it's cold. There's a video that I never actually posted of the Jeep that, like, you can see the breath and, like, I'm freezing. I'm trying to paint stuff. It's just, like, it's such a mess. It was gross.
Oh man.
And the audio got really weird. I don't know if it was the -40 or what happened, but the mic picked it all up weird, which is why I never used it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a thing. Well, should we go for a walk and see some of the other junk?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that. Well, for those of you who don't know, Ethan also writes articles in the magazine. A lot centered around some of the projects he's doing here in the garage, and some of it centered around drag racing and drag and drive. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, you can read that in the magazine.
Well, this is here. This is the least interesting of all the cars.
Also the fastest and most reliable around the track.
Oh yeah, by far.
That Mustang does really get out there. I need some new duct tape. This side helps. I think I recall Kyle doing that for the front bumper.
But nobody cares about it. It's a bog standard base model Subaru. Like, it's unquestionably the best rally car we have around here, but we check the oil once in a while. It smokes the clutch every time we use it, and somehow it keeps coming back.
Yeah.
It is what it is. This is a project. This one I bought to be the cheapest 5-speed V8 car that I could find.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to drive it home. That was my stipulations. V8 5-speed, drive it home. And I've been driving it for, I don't know, a little over a year, I think. It's fine. It's just a bog standard 5-liter. I think it's probably a 5-liter out of a truck or something. Like, it's
Right.
not the original one by any means. It feels a little down on power, and there's clear evidence this thing used to have a nitrous kit in it, whatever else. So I'm sure it's got blown up and replaced. It's got like 500,000 miles on it too. It's more right out.
This one also does pretty good around the track. I'll insert those clips here. We got it stuck just around one of the corners there.
Come on, Steve. Fucking do her. Come on, Steve. Go, Steve.
That bull probably got nothing on this Mustang.
I'm feeling ready to hold the Mustang again.
Yeah.
I think I did it.
My door's stuck in the snow. I'll hold close to this side then. If I need to be back here, I will. Nice.
It's my favorite one to go around the racetrack,
It's quick.
and it's awesome in the winter. Like
Yeah.
between the limited slip and studded tires, like I drive it through the field regularly.
Yeah.
This one, which hasn't even been on my channel yet, but this is my first ever car.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was my dad's parts car. He has a 60-foot Plymouth like this.
Yeah.
It's called a Savoy, same thing as a Belvedere or whatever, but it was like base model.
Yeah.
Both this car and the other one were like in 1964. A guy my dad knew won them. Like they had a raffle or something, and he won one and bought the other. I can't remember how it worked, but either way, this was a parts car for my dad. He bought a pair of them, and he built a race car. But it the engine that was in the Dakota used to be in this before it was in the Dakota, and after it was in my fire wagon, which is at my brother's place. But it's I used it for an autocross car.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a cage in it.
I was going to say, I can see a cage in the windows there.
It didn't. It's a half-finished cage.
Yeah.
I got bored of the project before I finished it. You can open a door, maybe. Yeah, it's full of garbage, is what it is. But a half-finished cage in it.
Yeah.
I used it to learn to autocross and kept making the car better, but the first like year and a half I autocrossed, it was dead last every time.
Yeah.
I was fine with that. Like, it's a car that is not suited at all to autocross. Then we got sticky tires and adjustable control arms and a cage that, although it's only tacked, stiffened the car up a lot.
Yeah.
It's got a rusty floor and it's unibody, like it's not a very stiff car, but putting those in and sticky tires, and suddenly we went to like, oh, we're in the top quarter now. And then the day I beat a Cadillac CTS-V that was also on sticky tires, like, oh, okay, we're good. Never drove the car again. So that's the most comparable thing that I've seen that has more power. Oh, it's good. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, and then I pulled the engine out of it probably 2 weeks later. That's as far as this car's ever going to go.
Yeah, it's proved its point. Yep. Yeah. I dig the red paint and the flat black.
Well, yeah, this was my first attempt. Oh, yeah, that was the other part. I guess it got... Directly after that, it also got hailed on. Oh, that's a big run. I don't want to look at that side. That was my first attempt at a good paint job. It looked not bad when it was fresh.
Yeah.
And then the flat black was just easy to cover all the mess.
Right.
Because it's not exactly anything like straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned to drive a stick in this car. I didn't drive it hardly on the road till I was probably 18 or 19. But yeah, my dad gave it to me as his old parts car, and she's like, yeah, drive this.
Yeah.
Learn how to figure out, run pedals, three on the tree, and whatever else. So.
Too cool. And what are these other ones you got here?
Yeah, junk.
That looks like a unibody.
It is a unibody.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Well, it actually came with the plates.
Oh, okay.
So I bought this acre from Buddy Kyle's dad.
Yeah.
And this truck was in the barn, and I think they're hoping to still do something with it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I said you can keep it here as long as you like. At some point in time, I'm going to drag it out and get bored and put a small block in it, which is maybe where that small block that's in the sheds should go. But
that's pretty cool. Like a long bed unibody?
It's a long bed unibody. It's really rare. Which
is super cool. Like I know not everyone likes the long beds and the four doors, but I'm a sucker for a long bed and a four door.
Yeah. Well, long bed unibody, I think it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Like it was only made for a couple of years. Maybe short boxes are more rare. I don't know.
And if they weren't rare, they weren't cool enough for people to keep around. So
yeah.
Now they're rare.
This is a 1970 Newport. I bought a pair of these. Well, I bought one convertible and one four-door. This has no engine in it, but I always meant to part out the four-door and fix the convertible because I thought it'd be cool to have a big Chrysler C-body. And then it was Steven's fault because he decided he'd get the other one running because it had an engine.
Right.
And then once it was running, it's like, oh, this is a pretty good car. And then it's like, oh, it has brakes still.
Yeah.
Oh, and the transmission works. And then I just started driving it.
Yeah.
And we drove it to Wisconsin to go to my brother-in-law's wedding. And then I brought it back and I sold it for next to nothing and thought I made a good deal because the car was free. I sold it for what I had into it. Looking back, the car would be 10 times the money to buy it now, but it was a funny car. I don't think anyone will appreciate the Shelby Lancer, will they?
I don't know. I thought the story on it was kind of cool.
Well, it is kind of special, but I'm gonna get all my details wrong is the problem. You're gonna get crucified on the internet because I don't remember all the details. I know this is a really rare car.
Yeah.
It's a 87 or 88 Shelby Lancer. It's like one of 490 or something. Last I checked, there was only 2 in Alberta. A buddy of mine always said it's rare like diarrhea in the fact that it doesn't happen often. You don't see many of them, but you don't want it, and nobody else does either. But to me, it was really special because I drove one of these. Well, not a Shelby one, but I drove a LeBaron, which is like the Chrysler version of it. A turbo car as well. 87, I think they were red only, and they were sent to Shelby. There's some story about it, but they were red only, sent to Shelby and modified by him. And then the next year, which is what this is, they took the Shelby design and built it at Chrysler,
right?
Which was far more ideal if you wanted to get a wiring harness or a diagram that was accurate. Because the ones that were a year previous, they were like Chrysler and then made by the guy who does the stuff, and they weren't even all the same wiring harnesses as the story I got. I don't know if that's true, but
right.
Either way, this is a pretty special one. This was our first rallycross since we bought the acreage, or when we bought the acreage. We ran it until it lit itself on fire because it had a little oil leak from the turbo, and that was, you know, kind of hot. And anyways, it burnt the starter wiring. I fixed it, sort of, and broke the starter on the way back in. So
Nice.
It'll get done eventually. It got a Kinetic head gasket in it, and
Oh yeah.
it's a hilarious car. It's got a boost controller in it.
It's got a cool wing on the back.
It's a pretty special car.
It's
really
pretty cool.
Rare. It's a real shame that it's sitting out here because the body's still half decent, but it's like nobody wants it.
Yeah.
And I get to have it. And I'd rather have the most special one than have somebody else fix it.
Yeah.
Apparently. Are you piling in, Shane?
There you go. Get some good weight in here to help.
Watch what you smoke trying to push you out. Oh, here. Neat. None of that.
I give you more space, but if the airbag goes off, I'm gonna die. So
This is some nice tint.
It's really good.
Like, it's dark.
I got in and I'm like, holy fucking dark back.
Yeah. I need to get some tint like that on the Suburban.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Everybody cool with being on camera?
Definitely.
Oh, I didn't sign the waiver, Ethan.
You're already on my camera, so.
Don't know how to do that.
You gotta hit the little traction control button on that.
Well, probably just me that has to put it. It's not going to be a fast kind of track day anyways.
No, it's gonna be a bit of a slide.
So is this the official route through the track that you're taking us on now?
Yeah. I'll try and keep it official because it's not bad, but I think the first time
You got rolled like 5 times.
I'm questioning which way I go right now.
Straight
so-
through. I've done a few laps here.
I got up the closest one to that fence.
Yeah, you pushed her one time.
There is a bank there.
Yeah, thank goodness there is, because
Great, then you disabled my wipers.
yeah, you're one of wipers. Well, to be fair, they were on all the time. You can turn them back on, but they're on all the time.
This car is gonna be so good today.
Yep. Well, I'll let you break the track a little bit. Don't go over there. That's a big pond.
Oh, okay.
By pond, I
That's
mean it's a
like-
hole.
That's like an
Water
immediate
in it.
DNF, man. Yeah.
That means you become a permanent fixture of the track.
Yeah, we're not pulling anything out of there. Not that we can't, but we don't want to.
Probably if you hit it at speed, it's going to be a little bit damaged. Eventually, we're going to want to back up
Well, we'll have to.
both of those.
We'll have to move some vehicles.
Some vehicles that are fit for the road, they might want to back up there.
You don't usually plow through there in the summer.
No,
but
today,
yeah.
Because it has fucking 1,200 pounds of
It needs an air filter.
water filter.
No, it's clogged up.
I drove it to work for like 2 weeks, and it seems fine, but sure doesn't have any power right now. Oh, because I didn't get the traction control off.
Well, I told you that.
Actually doesn't have any power. There we go.
One more lap.
My concern with it's the fact that it isn't even getting to the limiter was the problem. Like usually,
So, that's the start.
oh, there's the clutch. See, now we got power. We're finding the ground finally. Also, if you're driving this thing, it doesn't stop good. Like, just so you know, it really doesn't stop good.
Nothing's gonna stop very well today.
We might want to move that car. 'Cause I really wanted to do it around there, but sort of sedately. Let's move a few cars.
Yeah, I don't need anybody doing that.
It's okay, Brian's is gonna get hit first.
I don't know.
Oh, no. So the deck, which obviously doesn't get used very much in the winter, was actually the first thing we built on the barn before I even cleaned out downstairs. Because within a week of buying the place, Brother Steve was here, like with a skid steer. He's like, we're building a racetrack.
Nice.
Okay. I didn't care. I had other stuff to worry about. And then the first time we went around the racetrack, I was like, oh, okay, well, it'd be cool if we could see it. And then, I don't know, within 6 months or a year or something, we put the deck together, which is all built out of steel because it was during the lumber crisis of 2020 that everything cost too much. And it was like, well, it's cheaper to build it out of steel. So
Yeah, when you could sell shitty used sheets of plywood for $300 on
yeah, it
Kijiji.
was pretty wild. But, yeah. The idea was to be able to see the whole deck, which we can. You're about to, whatever you're hoping to hear, you're about to not hear. We don't use the place obviously in the winter, but
Yeah.
this was mostly the Heather half of Heathen's garage took care of this, as in my wife did.
Yeah.
Which I'd like to make that clear. I'm a diehard atheist or something. It's Heather and Ethan combined. Which I realized was never made clear.
Honestly, that just clicked for me like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Like it's a good name.
It is.
Between Heathen's garage and Ether's garage, which like both kind of work for the channel, but the choice is for
I thought it was just a cool name, and then I was like, oh no, Heather and Ethan. That makes
it
sense.
turned out to be a cool name. But
Yeah. So yeah, you've got like a whole
yeah.
bar set up up here. Elvis Presley.
Power and yeah, a water dish that's got frozen water in it.
Nice.
I don't know. It's kind of a cool place to hang out, and we'll do it after race days or during race days or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a very cold place, but it's I don't know. It's nice just to be out of the sun sometimes, and
Yeah.
or rain, because we do rain days too on
Yeah.
occasion. But yeah, it's a nice little retreat for us as well. Just
You've got
and then
bars.
we'll come up here and just play darts and have a few drinks. And we've got
Sinks, toaster ovens, fridges.
oh yeah, hey, gotta have a few appliances at least to warm up food. But yeah, like a lot of our friends sort of donated this, that, and the next thing that they had, or found it trash to treasure or whatever. And this table's pretty cool. We should show that. We had a friend who built it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It suffered a little bit, obviously, with minus 40 in here on occasion, but
Right.
watch your step. There's a thing to trip over.
Yeah.
You get somebody every time. It's pretty special. And all the cushions were made by the same lady.
Oh, cool.
Jean jackets and checkered flag ones. And
That's sweet. And you guys got the dartboards over here.
yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, this is a sweet place to hang out.
It's a little nicer in the summer when it's not cold.
Right, yeah.
And there's no snow on the ground. The wind blows through here pretty heavy too. So.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, it's an old square body. It's nothing special. It's the first one that I bought though. That I bought it like I'm gonna make YouTube videos with this truck,
Right.
and that's the only reason I bought it. I don't have a use for it,
Yeah.
but I knew the guy selling it. He wanted to get rid of it, and I was like, I think that'll be good for the YouTube channel. The one video, which was basically I got it home and drove it around the racetrack,
Yeah.
did really well. I was happy with that, and I think there's a lot of potential for it. I don't know, I don't know where the plan's going other than to fix it for now,
Right.
but Like I want to put a dump box on it real bad.
I was gonna say it's a dually with a looks like a tilt
Yeah.
deck or tilt bed or something on it.
Yeah, it's got a PTO and whatever else. So, and a dump bed would be really handy here.
Yeah.
Like I constantly am adding gravel and whatever else, and if I could carry more than a half a yard at a time, that sure would be nice.
Right.
But I got some parts in the garage for it that I'm really excited about, which are like they're weird and they don't match the truck, but they're neat. So I'm excited about them.
That's cool.
Other than that, I want to, like, I have visions of a slammed gravel truck because I think that'd be cool.
That would be pretty
Especially
cool.
if it was still functional.
Yeah.
I don't know how feasible that is,
Yeah.
but also it's like, well, you can always put bump stops in. Like
Yeah.
the worst case scenario is you've got a big load of gravel and it's riding on the bump stop.
Yeah.
Whatever. Doesn't bother me.
Exactly.
I drove my half ton home with the tires off the ground whenever I took off hard. So.
Is this the donor Jeep that was just in the video?
Yeah, this is the latest video. This is a really special Jeep, actually. I feel bad taking it apart.
Oh, really?
It's trashed, yeah. Yeah, they're really rare. They're 1998 only. It's called a 5.9er. So they were a 360. They're the same engine that came in Dakota RTs.
Oh, yeah.
They had their own special computer and their own transmission, and they were like, they're not huge. For 90s, they were 250 horse or something like that. Like
Right.
they're the most powerful Jeep that were made, but it was the late 90s and nothing had horsepower.
Yeah.
Like they're really neat. They're nice to
Yeah.
drive. I've had a couple of these, just 318s, but yeah, this one unfortunately
It's definitely
every window knocked out of
seen
it.
better days,
and
yeah.
it's
But I mean, if it's got a good motor in it.
well, we'll see if it's a good motor. I got it to bark over, but that's as far as we got.
Good stuff.
That's the motor home. It's not very interesting. It's got a big block Ford in it.
Yeah,
First ever big block Ford I've had.
that's cool.
It was just too cheap to turn down.
Yeah,
That's the only reason I bought it.
and you did a Will It Run video on that one.
This frame here, its only life purpose to be the frame for the DeSoto someday.
Oh, okay.
It's the right wheelbase and right width.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like to the, I don't know, 1/10 of an inch.
Oh,
Kind of
wow.
thing. Like it's exactly the same.
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah, like it's.
And then
that's-
there's tons of parts available for stuff like this, so
Yeah, that's kind of just it. And like if it's just a lot easier than fix. I already have to fix everything anyways.
yeah.
So it'll probably stay together, but the future will be sitting on a Ranger frame and you can get engine swap mounts and everything
Yeah,
for it,
you
like
can.
for any engine you want.
Yeah.
Well, they're light enough that you're not losing a bunch of performance, and parts are cheap and easy. They have decent brakes because they're meant to be a truck. And
Yeah.
yeah. The engine in it's scrap, but
Yeah.
it will start and move. But that's the extent of it.
That thing's pretty cool. Station wagon Mercedes.
I like Mercedes. This is the one that I told her that I would fix. I told
yeah.
her that probably 6 years ago. I'll get that right back together for you. It was really good, actually. This was of the, I don't know, I think it's a 95. Mercedes decided to use like biodegradable wiring harnesses. So anyways, the wiring harness biodegraded quite quickly, and it wasn't running on all of its cylinders, and so I said, okay, I'm gonna fix it. And I spent, I don't know, 20 hours. I built a full engine wiring harness for it,
Yeah.
right from scratch, because you couldn't buy one. And it ran like a top. Best it ever run since we owned it. And then I took it and washed it. Elected to wash under the hood. Cooked the ECM. Had to get pushed out of the car wash. Couldn't find an ECM anywhere for it. I probably didn't look hard enough.
Yeah.
But I just spent, the better part of 3 days working on this car. And I detailed the interior when I was washing it. And I was so mad. I took it back to the shop. I tore the engine, transmission, put it straight into the scrap metal bin, and said, "This is enough of German junk." I was so mad, which is quite rash,
Yeah.
because I'd already built a wiring harness. I probably could have put any ECU into it
Yeah.
and made it run, like something normal and modern or whatever. But
So this one's sitting here without an engine and transmission in it.
the Slant 6 that's in the barn,
Yeah. Oh, okay. See, I was more thinking 6-liter LS.
well,
Problem is this truck's too good, right?
it's too useful.
Yeah.
Like it's got the first, like when we fired up the YouTube, they've got the first video,
Yeah.
because it's the one I was working on. I bought it at auction. I always just call it auction truck. it's been a lot more work than use, but
Yeah.
you know, at least I bought it cheap, and then I could spend all the same amount of money to fix it instead of just buying a decent one. But
And it's got a full stainless steel exhaust.
yeah,
Headers.
pretty nice exhaust. Headers. It's got a hot camshaft. It sounds awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
It's really cold though. It's gonna be a rough cold start here.
Yeah. Probably because it's still ice cold.
Well, once it's got oil pressure, what more do you need?
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
The low
That sounds
pressure
really good.
senders- I'm so happy with it. It's a little noisy cruising.
Yeah.
I got a set of resonators I'll put on it, which I'd always planned on putting on it, but
Heads up. Okay. There we go. The flagship.
the flagship. This is just cold storage. It lives in here because I don't want it to be outside, even though it sat outside for the last probably 30 years before I bought it. For some reason, I like to keep it inside now.
Yeah.
But it's our 78 Jeep Cherokee Chief, small block AMC, big single Amazon turbo. It works okay. It's our primary drag and drive car. Right now, I don't remember what it needs. It's just sort of parked for winter.
You'll figure it out about a day or two before drag and drive and then
Well,
rush to get her.
that might be the way it goes. We can see if it starts for fun. Oh, I left the battery disconnect on. That isn't good. Not a great start.
Oh. Fired right up.
That's why you need to throw bloody fuel injection.
There you go.
There. That's the ticket. When I put the Dakota together, I stole the boost tube off it, which is why it's just got an air cleaner. But that turbo has an air cleaner.
Yep, that's pretty cool. She fired right up.
Yeah.
She's ready to rip for Miles of Mayhem already.
Well, it's better than we were last year, that's for sure.
I want to put out a huge thank you to Cole and Blue Collar Garage. If you are in the market for shop space to store your toys, start a small business, or work on your projects with your buddies, make sure you check out Blue Collar Garage. They have spaces for lease in Red Deer County, Airdrie, and Lacombe, all available with all-in pricing and 24/7, 365 secure access. Check out bluecollargarage.com or click the link below in the description.
Ever trying to climb the berm?
I don't think I'll be able to.
Drive, right? Go a little push. Go that way. More. Try moving her. I was hoping you could kind of get around and then maybe back up.
I love it. Ethan's like, oh yeah, it's all demolition derby. And he's
Bump it
Give you
down,
a
right?
little bump.
yeah, he said, no, don't even bump. Look where he ended up.
Yeah,
up, guys. Hang tight.
Just pull it under the hook, slam it shut.
I was gonna say just wrap it around the wheel and pull.
Have we got enough we can just go around through the windows?
Yeah. The doors open ever again. Now, I need a bigger hook.
Still need a bigger hook?
You don't want this, do you?
That won't work.
Does that work?
No.
Can you hit really hard, will it go around? What if I pop the hook, you hook it onto the hook latch? Put it up and let's see what's there. We're gonna hook
There's an engine mount or something in there you could hook onto.
That seems like work.
That's outrageous. No, there's no way to hook onto that without damaging something irreparably. Okay, is it hooked on the wheel? Oh, yeah,
No.
I was gonna say I won't.
It's just the control arm. Don't worry about it. Nice. It even unhooked itself. All right, hop in, guys. There's 7 seats. Don't be shy.
Oh, nothing like a burp.
Yeah.
Good old OBS burp. I just about brought old Red today, but then the wife kiboshed that. She's like, if you break it, we might need it. And she goes, then for sure, you will break it. A little harder to slide, fucking 5 more feet out.
Lots of cars. not doing normal things.
She's still pushing them.
Oh yeah. Don't do it, Brian. I know what you're thinking.
Turns too nice.
Pull it back.
Oh, they're gonna win.
There you go.
They are gonna get out, dude.
All right. Hello.
I had to ring the doorbell so Elvis would come.
Nice.
It's really upset.
Hi. Hi.
You gotta give him the 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He's
Hi.
a little bit of a... He's a suspicious by nature. He's alright, Elvis. So these here, they're special to me both because they're weird and because of who owned them.
Yeah.
But the short version is the guy who owned them prior to who I got them from was the definition of fast and loose. Like, he was wild. And he had this set of fenders. Anyways, he passed away, and that was pretty tragic and sad, but he left these fenders behind. They weren't bolted to anything. And my buddy Stace said, hey, I got a set of fenders that aren't rusty for you. And they're not rusty because they're fiberglass.
Oh.
And they're super cool, and I'm really excited about them. They're very, like, they do not belong on a 1-ton at all.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were made. Like, they are beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
They don't, like, they look nothing, you hardly even know because it's all just perfectly molded and got all the bends and everything.
Yeah.
Like, they're really nice.
What would a fiberglass one have been used for?
A race truck.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
A race truck, like my 1-ton with the gravel box.
Dually
Yeah.
tilt deck. Yeah, exactly.
Guys, you're really bugging him a lot.
They smell good.
Yeah. Elvis, knock it off. No, you're not near as big of a protector dog as you think.
I published your picture in a magazine. I did. Yeah.
I showed him. He didn't seem interested.
No.
But that's, I don't know, this is just our little shed on the attached garage. We work on stuff in here. It's a lot warmer than the barn because it's got, well, more insulation
Yeah.
and a real heater. Well, a real heater, meaning a house furnace that somebody sold on Facebook for $15 or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, I was really excited about these.
Those are cool. Those are really cool.
They're really special. Like, I don't know if they deserve the whole garage, but right now that's what they have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's super cool.
yeah. And we got a set of doors too.
Nice. You got Cruise Culture apparel, flag.
Yeah. My first ever article that I wrote.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
Yeah. And the article I was really proud of, and the reason I wrote the other articles, that's the first money I ever made racing,
Yeah.
and the first trophy I ever got.
That's cool.
And the wooden sign is from some friends of ours. They have a little company called Sysbiz, and they build signs and T-shirts and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Other than that, this is sort of just a big disaster. That's my wife's car.
Pretty sweet. It's got a
It's a
Hemi in
really
it.
nice car. She had it from before I ever knew her. She had that car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, she drives a Challenger. And go after that one. And then I did.
Nice.
That worked out for me.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And then the whiteboard might look familiar.
Oh, yeah. See what I wrote on the glass. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe a big lewd picture or something. No, not much. Oh, I did some lists.
There you go.
Hey, that's what's wrong with some stuff.
Yeah.
Cherokee Chief, Yank Engine, Bearings and Machine Shop. At least they're down. It's not a great start. Just close that back up. I don't want to think about that.
Nice. And then your TIG welded welding
my
cart?
TIG welded bench, which is full of junk, but yep.
Pretty cool.
Well, it's highly effective.
Yeah, it works.
It works good in this space too, because it's not a big space.
Yeah.
And this is the car that I bought so I could be part of Cruise Culture. Basically.
Nice.
It's a 1950 DeSoto. I think it's called a custom S14 they call it. It is bone stock. It actually lived 2 miles down the road.
Right.
And when I was a child, this car was for sale.
Yeah.
Like by the same guy. And it guess it never sold.
Yeah.
And then finally, like his grandson, I sort of knew him growing up and whatever, and I saw it for sale on Marketplace or whatever, and he said he's open to trades. I was like, well, I don't really want to spend any money, but I've got this old guitar that I got from my grandma when she passed away. I got her inheritance, and I bought a guitar because she liked music, and I thought that was appropriate. I can sort of play, but not really worth owning a nice guitar over, so I thought, well, I bet I can make better use of a DeSoto. And he wanted a guitar, so that that was key.
Meant to be.
But yeah, it's old and it's special, and I'm really looking forward to it. We got big plans for it. I don't know how much of it will be executed in near future, but for now, it's get the thing past an inspection and make it legal. And once that's done, then we can throw together whatever we need.
Yep. Those OOPs are starting to get tricky here in Alberta, so.
Yeah, they're not great. Because it's close to doing it legitimately, and everything that I'm going to end up doing is fine. And just a little bit out of respect for the guy who owned it before me too, because just like he was a mechanic. He was my family mechanic when I was growing up. Like the first time I got, well, we'll talk about that when we talk the truck, but like he was, when we got rescued on the side of the road, that's the guy that came and got us. He owned this car, and it's kind of like, well, we should at least try and not destroy it immediately.
Right.
So we'll fix up the chassis, and hopefully it'll sell to somebody who actually wants to restore a DeSoto, because frame and stuff's in really good shape. Like all the rubbers are shot and everything like that.
Yeah.
We'll have that fixed because it has to pass an out of province. So somebody will get a really good frame out of the deal, and I will keep a pretty cool old car. At least that's the hope. And we got our hood emblem, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah, that's cool.
Meanwhile, this truck is owned by the same guy. And I actually got to buy it from him shortly before he passed away. And like the first time I got rescued on the side of the road with whatever broken down car we were in was this truck. It came and picked us up, and I don't know. I always liked it. He tried to keep it pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's had some bad bodywork over the years. Like, not everybody who worked on it was really good on it, but he tried to keep it presentable at least. It's a big block Dodge. It's on propane. It won't start because it's on propane. But it's yeah, it's kind of special. It's been like back and forth to Alaska and all kinds
cool.
of places. Yeah, it's pretty special. It's the summertime tow rig, and that's basically all we use it for. Like, we'll road trip it for it once in a while. We took it to the Heaters with Beaters car show last weekend. We drove this up there because it was warm. But yeah, with it being on propane, I just try not to use it in the winter at all, because it's
Right.
even minus 20. It can be like, oh, you need a kettle of hot water to pour on the mixer or whatever, evaporator, whatever it's called. I don't know anything about propane. But
Yeah. No, it's a cool rig. I get excited every time I see you driving it in your videos.
yeah, it works really well. And even being like, it's way down on power being on propane.
Yeah.
But like, it's the same amount of slow with the trailer, without the trailer.
Right.
Like, it's not fast by any means,
Yeah.
but it does not care at all about the trailer behind it. And it's smooth as silk. Like, it's so comfortable. It's reasonable inside too.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. What's this say?
Canadian Taxpayers Federation. I don't know what it was, but it was for like, it was meant to lower taxes and make the government like demand something out of them.
Lower taxes, less
Yeah.
waste.
Accountable government. Yeah, it was I don't know if it's still in existence or not. I've never taken that sticker off. I think it's neat.
It is cool. It's cool. Usually you see like Banff Park sticker or
Yeah.
Alberta, whatever. That's pretty cool.
Mom's Bakery in Whitehorse, Yukon Territory.
Holy,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, you got that. This is just propane placement.
Yeah.
And there's a sticker that I drove the Alaska Highway, and I think there's still a receipt in there from Alaska, like
That's
when
cool.
he filled up. I don't know if it was propane or gas back then, but
Right.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm kind of proud of those pieces, which they're weird and old, but because I knew the guy that owned it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was only 2 or 3 years. Probably 2 or 3 years old when he bought it.
Right.
He bought it almost new, and he owned it forever. So
That's cool. I mean, Alaska road trip's that's pretty sweet.
that's a ballsy move to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, whether it's on gas or propane, that's
Yeah.
a long ways to go before. And this was, he didn't have a cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a paper business card. Paper business cards and cell phones didn't exist hardly at the same time.
And I mean, it must have been a good bakery for it to be all the way in Alaska or Northwest Territories and to take the business card.
I think I'm sure it doesn't exist anymore, but I would like to take it there again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe that's the dream with this one. Let's go back to Mom's Bakery, Yukon Territory. Not that far.
Yeah.
Only takes a few days.
Too cool.
Let's find somewhere warm to be.
Yeah. That was our day out here at Heathen's Garage. Make sure you go and check out his channel. He's doing an awesome job with some of the projects and stuff that he's working on. He's got some really cool drag racing content as well. So cool drag racing content and stuff as well. And he spends some of his time writing articles for the magazine. So if you haven't seen any of his articles, make sure you head over and check those out. Go subscribe to his channel. He's this close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, if he hasn't already by the time I put this video out. And and make sure you go and shop his merch at heathensgarage.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Keep cruise culture alive.